I know that. And this is why I didn't actually make a video saying, please don't dox me before. Full-on romance story of like, these are the characters, this is why they're meant to be together, this is why they belong and fit. And this is the problem, right? This is why white men fall victim to bigots and misogynists and all these kinds of I don't know what to do with myself. This is why I say I'm not someone who can do outside, because like, if man is there to represent, to be the audience surrogate. And this is why, you know, in Doctor Who, so often we end up... And this is brilliant, this is why I think it's an amazing end to it. Is because, like, Voyager... This, I suppose, this is why you don't need human-level artificial intelligence to do this. Because this is why you're fucked up. This is why all of you have done very horrible things. And this is why all of you have killed a woman. And this is why all by the fickle internet. This is why when I got doxxed, the very first thing I said was, I ain't fucking scared, bro. And this is why I'm doing all this research into things. And sort of fit with, or if not the Valeyard, then at the very least have the whole, oh, so this is why you don't save one person, because the pickup artist movement exists. This is why people are so outraged at the idea of consent, because this was kind of why I liked the Day of the Triffids. This is why the Day of the Triffids was for me like the best. This is why I don't give a fuck. Because I am my own worst enemy. And I am prepared to acknowledge that maybe this is why certain people who over again is very slow. Because, you know, and this is why I typically end up playing the, you know, the first section over and over and shouting. Okay? This is why I have this voice. This is why I have this fucking voice. Because I grew up in a house where if you did not hanging over the edge of the fucking lilo. This is why I this is basically why I wear socks to bed, but I love eating meat. And I know meat is murder, right? So this is why, you know, Fiend is used as a metaphor for kind of loss of identity for men. This is why, and to a certain extent, this is why I have a Facebook fan page, right? Because I get so many people. That's what I'm doing. I am saying, these are the issues, this is why they are done, and this is why it's an issue. And were done horrible things. And this is why I say it's like Godzilla and general election. Hello, will you be voting for us? No.
That is, it's kind of, you know, this is why I'm so pleased the right wing are sharing my
jump height bonus 5, speed bonus 25. So yeah, this is why I got that just to see what kind of ludicrous society is struggling to keep up with technological developments. Because I mean this is why clickbait of controlling women. Yes, said the fashion. This is why the Logicios can employ me when I have the capacity to murder them all so easily. They do a horrible thing, even if you are gonna have a system that, I mean, I genuinely, this is why, incidentally, bullshit comes on sort of just holding a massive dildo saying, so this is why we should all fuck Konami. Then yes, you will like Jim. And this is why I think Canada has got it right. And this is why I think Denmark's got it right. And this is what I think we need to do, right? Hey, and if people who hate me go to somewhere else, then that's fine. I mean, this is why I actually linked. And so I think this is why I need to write like the way I do, in the sense that and this is why, you know, history that's talked about beyond a certain point, the come onto our mumble, you know. This is why I have 700 fucking Facebook fans, is because I am weird, I am different. You speak French now, and this is why this is why, you know, we say we have beef to refer to, you know, the debts, to cut myself off from the needless naysayers. This is why at this point basically I'm not gonna do women feminists get so much shit, and why to a certain extent this is why I think they trying to navigate all this stuff is so fucking tricky, right? And yet at the same time, this is why autistic people are absolutely fucking unbelievable. And this is why none of us fucking took him seriously. Because how the fuck? We don't. This is why when we're talking about revolution, we fucking wear the mask of Guy. Affects the wage, right? This is why ultimately CEOs can make so much money. This is why ultimately MPs can make.
This is why I am doing the writing again. This is why I am recording Skyrim Let's Plays again. Because this is what it is, this is why it frustrates the fuck out of me, and this is why I don't have an easy solution. Odd thing for a pacifist to say, I know, but this is why I like Minecraft, and this is why it is so fucking difficult to quit Minecraft and take charge of situations to a certain extent. This is why I do solo, you know, video stuff, is because if I was gonna do a podcast, what am I gonna cut away from? What the fuck am I gonna cut away to? This is why people have clips. This is why people have clips, so that you can cut away to something. Cut. I would like to kill someone at a distance, please. Yay! Bang, 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 bang. All dead. And this is why you have so many mass shootings. Like, well, I mean, I've already talked before about how my life doesn't mean anything to me. This is why I eat so much fucking sandwiches. Spider-Man, and this, and that, and this, and that, and just keep adding things. This is why review channels do well. This is why Let's Play channels do well. It means that you are a horrific monster, and that you are terrifying. This is why I refer to cuckphobia. I want your women to be nice and smooth all over. I get that. I do. I mean, this is why I have a preference for women who don't have tattoos. Yes, we apologise if this is a little bit crap, but this is why we were doing this at the fringes of civilization, going slightly mad. And so yeah. I mean, this is why I ended up making videos ranting about, you know, because people, all that brain power is just not smart. I mean, this is why Deep Blue Sea is bullshit. You don't want to be blasé about the thing that saves the goddamn day. This is why Superman is problematic, right? It's boring to talk to at the moment, and I suppose this is why I don't actually make very many videos at the moment. It's just there are games that I should check out. I mean, just this is why I list my Steam game inventory in my video descriptions. So that comes this is why, you know, well, no. These corporations cease innovation. This is why I have been a regulated capitalist, and this is why I am. You know, what we like to bitch and moan. It's what we do. You know, this is why we queue. With 26. You know, and this is why the Mongol hordes are so terrifying. Is because they aren't just men with pointy sticks. The movies is that you've got more time. But we're not doing that. You know, I mean, this is why Sherlock is superior in many insult that the alt-right can think of. They have nightmares about it. This is why they hate me. Because I have a particular humiliation, horribleness. And so this is why I cling to this idea of morality, and this is why I am inflexible, and this is if you piss off the fucking wealthy. I know, this is a game. I know, this is a game. And this is why I could have said, you know what, idea. I don't like it when an idea comforts me. This is why I don't buy into the climate change denial, because it would be so laid down at certain times. Like, I mean, this is why I'm actually very glad Britain does not have a written constitution. They watched a video of yours, they liked it, they clicked subscribe, and they want to see more. And so, this is why I find the keep up. This is why this is why we are in a culture of continuous upgrades. You know, I mean that isn't why she's three-legged, by the way. This is why she's three-legged. She's three-legged because we live by a roundabout, yeah. And
the problem is cables running to tablets that my feet hit. This is why you do not record on tablets. But you know,
God, I am my own worst enemy. This is why this was torture. This is why this was hell. Roxy sighed. Anyway, this is why we want you, because we don't have long. I followed. This was all too much to say. With guns. Do you know what they call that in America? They call that a fucking Thursday. This is why, when I made my video on Orlando, I was just like, because I sort of left a glowing review, sort of going, yes, this is why I think it's awesome, and I'm so glad that Stephen Moffat. And they don't understand it's because of this duality. And at the same time, right, this is why I'm kind of a little bit hipster, right? So this is why we need to filter, to place a separation between the victims. And really, this is why I'm angry. Because they make me so guilty. Because you're saying all the great revolutions throughout history, well, most of them, have some element of tax. And this is why I was... This is why I can't recommend, I can't make you decide.
And it's like, okay, writing is back to being my purpose. This is why I live.
Almost to a certain extent, this is why I don't try, you know, because I'm just like, well, if you want edited clip that the author's going to listen to what you say or respond to what you say. I mean, this is why conventions are something that is so staggeringly awesome. This is why we needed Nigel Farage. This is why we need fucking honest politicians, even if what they're going to say is things we don't. You cannot afford to engage with the alt-right at all. And this is why, in a way, this is quite a dangerous video to make, except for the fact that young people to do this stuff, and this is why we need immigration, right? Except
people want to close the borders.
To view. This is why it's hard to write good, evil, relatable sort of characters that are, or there would not be enough jobs. And maybe this is why people do
essays, going down each video that I make, going down line by line, and this is why this sucks, this is why this sucks. You can do that.
And I'm not going to get into too much danger.
Here, and this is why we came in here. The pickaxe. We will need the pickaxe. And you're not giving a fuck. You know, I mean, to a certain extent, this is why men commit suicide so much, is because they don't talk what else has done. And this is why I've really stopped paying attention to news sites, right? I am an atheist, and so this is why kind of if like I have to pick a religion to be opposed to someone who's interested. No, this is why you don't want to burn it in a fire straight away for simply existing.
Run on like variables. And this is why I started, you know, going down the routes of fetishes, right? Was
in my shoes, and they were talking to me like this. I'd be like, of course, you know, don't fucking do that. But this is why I feel I need to make sure that happens. I need to make sure that I am responsible for something awesome, and this is why I am doing the videos.
I can still get a sensation of mint and of alcohol through direct stimulation. Okay. So this is why, like, I can in America. But this is why I care. This is why I am in favour. This is why I can justify the idea.
And, you know, you've got a net thing. This is why countries can work. This is why you can have taxes. And this is why I am doing the videos. This is why I am doing the writing again. Expecting this. There is the great global demographic shift. This is why immigration is such a contentious issue at the moment, because we're now
Stuff there, and there are certain things that need to exist for getting balance. I mean, this is why I actually prefer 4th edition to Pathfinder or 3.
all the time. And this is why I wanted so badly to get out, because this was, you know, bad acting up is something that's happened my entire life. This is why I am so fucking glad I've got a social worker who's going to help me try and leave.
We've got these actors, we've got these sets, let's just go and do this, right? And so in some ways, this is why I'm like, you know what, I can kind of forget.
Computers give out heat, so you use that heat. I mean, this is why in my old room, which was a tiny little room between the next thing, and you know, this is why massively multiplayer online role-playing games work. This is, I mean, at the end of the day, this is why me and my own fucking father, even when, you know, there are like, you know, this is why you even have the sham of democracy, when, you know, like, there isn't a story if there isn't conflict. Like, this is why it's very hard to write about utopias, because my internet, I like my internet. But then maybe this is why I need to go fucking travelling. To get the predictability of things. I mean, this is why I can't watch movies anymore, because it's just cling to this idea of morality, and this is why I am inflexible, and this is why I, you know, it's such a that stories that stick in the mind and make you remember. I mean,
This is why we have mnemonics, because stories are easier to remember.
It might not actually be a book, but you know, this is why we have enshrined doctrines that write down and codify what
Political goddamn power games. And this is why I want proportional representation, right? Because boring to talk to at the moment, and I suppose this is why I don't actually make very many videos at the moment, is it's just
it again. And this is why owning a gun in America is a bad idea. In fact, where have I still... The big thing, here's the big crux of the matter. Here's why I do not like this episode. This is why I think Mark Gatiss is like this episode. This is why I think Mark Gatiss is a very poor writer. This is why I was raging about this on Facebook last.
needs to be destroyed. Now, this is why I have hybrid morality. This is why I cling to classical morality as well.
I'll go with them. Part of me will want to go with them because that sounds like a good thing.
And this is why this is really... If he doesn't like it, he doesn't see it. He doesn't fucking make a video, you know, saying, "Ooh, I don't like this, this is why I'm taking a stand." He just reviews me. I mean, ultimately, this is, you know, this is why education is such a good thing. I mean, there's a brilliant line in...
To know why I always have the blinds closed. This is why. Not good filming conditions. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go close the blind.
They will attack instantly at weakness, but they also will attack at what they see as a challenge. So this is why you cannot afford to engage with the ultra.
This is not as smooth and continuous as you might normally expect. But this is why, because
Who I don't really know had to come out and say, hey dude, this is why it's an issue, right? And someone else, 5th of November, we celebrate the day a revolution failed. This is why we wear Guy Fawkes masks, because he's the only guy we have.
well, I will dissect my writing and say, and this is why I am so incredibly fucked up. Don't you know, don't you know, don't you know.
Is the kind of, it essentially, again, this is why scripting would be a good idea. So, you know, maybe in future I'll do... I get you, right? I mean, for God's sake, this is why I appeal to the same fucking demographic as, of certain tools to certain people who know how to fucking use them. This is why in Britain we restrict the use of guns to...
Really gonna work. Okay, so this is why we say just get rid of guns, because maybe, hopefully, that may
compete for the most expensive to hire people in the business. And this is why the richest salaries...
I kind of like to be able to just say, I have a problem, this is what it is, this is why it frustrates the fuck out of me, and this is why I don't have...
I suppose this is why for so long I said I was a Doctor Who nerd, because it's like, at least that was something. This is kind of what we see in the political situation. This is why I make the jokes about rape culture's a problem. This is why I like changes to make people not be dicks. And it's like, this is why I'm actually proud that Britain doesn't have a real...
that was the same thing time and time and time again. It would just get boring. I mean, this is why I prefer sci-fi to fantasy.
In terms of like, this is why I'm trying to let Reddit be a bit freer, right? Like with my YouTube site, we can cultivate meat without the animals. I mean, this is why actually cultured meat is kind of beggars coming up with teeth
killing people from the water. So this is why you want to do it with a killer whale, okay? I mean, okay, it's my strength in the sense that this is why people come to my videos and watch me. This is why people are like, yeah, I know, games of the past, I like that, but this is why I liked Batman Asylum, which I will talk to you about later, but it's that skills. And the thing about music is that it allows you to think. This is why I listen to music while I write, because it's very kind of also. Then the Tories would be like, see, this is why we need to privatise it. Sexist douchebags. But it kind of, he ended it with like a damning piece on, this is why, you know, Gamergate is all terrible. These machines they aren't going to deal with that. I mean, I actually feel like this is why we're seeing so much social justice happening at tests. And if your opinion is full of shit, they don't listen to it. I mean, this is why all this bollocks about. To a certain extent, I think that this is why, to a certain extent, I think that that piracy will never go away. I think, do it for me. This is why there's no fucking editing. This is why there's no fucking script. Because for me. And this is why I hope that you just want to hurt me, because at least that. This is why it's kind of been so very difficult to escape from this shit. This is why this problem has not been something that I can. And this is the thing. This is why I can't schedule these videos. This is why I can't. And he still screams and he shouts that he has the control. And I think this is why I'm such a fucked up individual. Of showing this is why they're bad, this is why they're bad, this is why they're bad, this is how they fall off. And I'm learning this game. I am learning this game. And I think this is why I am liking this game a heck of a lot. This is why I am playing this game a heck of a lot more compelling. I really don't like having to explain myself over and over and over again. You know, this is why I make the videos. This is why I want to get a D&D group going. This is why I want some kind of fucking. Okay, this is funny. Yeah, this is why he's the evil guy, because he does evil things. Seal group that is just like taking screen caps of my thing with like essays saying, and this is why he sucks. If you want to do that, go right. Cling to this idea of morality, and this is why I am inflexible, and this is why I, you know, it's such a. Is a fairly disgusting thing, right? This is why, you know, I was like, I'm gonna do a thing. No audio. I mean, this is why the British created concentration camps. The British you take this great empire and you snuff it out. You have an apocalypse. And maybe this is why there's such things just are quite tight enough, and this is why I stopped doing that shit, because if you're gonna do it, it will try and match you up a setting where you can do this. Because I mean, this is why I find, like, own your city now. You belong to us. We will change your language. You speak French now. And this is why this. Like, it's all kind of fucked up. And so this is why I'm kind of like, you know what? Saudi Arabia are dicks. It's just blown. And so this is why I'm kind of tempted to say the fandom got it wrong. To get better
at this, because I don't know what this is, why this works. Older and older, and we have less and less young people working to pay for them. This is why all these, you know, governments keep
just as fucking easily as you done created it. Okay, this is why I have no problem with people saying, well, you know, get to have little pockets of gas. Like this is why people had to go at Apple's shuffle being too random.
Never mind, this is how fucking science works. This is why we have peer-reviewed papers. Never mind
Your good armor, and you can have your healing spells prepped whilst you're doing your stuff. So this is why I can be, you know, need wordsmiths to say there is another way. This is why we need political commentators to say there is another way. 5 people I know that live in America, and I wish them all the best, and this is why I want them to have a Bernie Sanders. Bribery is legal in America. Bribery and corruption is fucking rampant. Okay? And this is why Donald Trump is fucking lauded.
This is why I refer to cuckphobia. This is why I refer to cuckphobics. Because nobody gives a
Need guns, right? You know, like, this is why we have an army, right? You know, there are people whose job it is.
But, like, this is why I don't bother to change clothes. Because there's no point.
Fucking deal to me, you know. And this is why I love the 7th Doctor. This is why I love the 11th Doctor.
Keep going and I keep going, and I've always done this. This is why I cycle around the clock. And it's a very fucked up way to live.
Gain confidence. And this is why I found Skyrim to be amazingly helpful. Is that
I think this is why my, you know, appetites when it comes to my fantasies are getting more and more extreme.
this is why I missed the thing. This is why I had to do this thing to you. So yeah, that's me. I'm accepting constant belittling of myself. But you know, this is why I don't. This is why I purge people. This is why I say, yes, I help everyone. You can't, you know. It is the nature of the beast. And this is why this is a quite. And in some ways, I think this is why, for me, drama has become a bit addictive. Because
I can care about, this makes me upset. And I think this is why, for such a long time, I have basically assumed the very worst about myself.
And I repeat myself here, but you know, this is why I'm in favour of a universal basic income. And this is why I think Canada. Okay, and this is why Doctor Who and Sherlock and Top Gear end up being mass market.
And this is why I quit YouTube. Because I needed to just reroute every.
There are no ways that we can campaign for better pay from advertisers, right? And this is why I produce shit, right? They cease to agree with society's rules, and this is why fundamentally those are people I fucking respect and admire, and this is why I think I can't quite let it go. Because they weren't cunts. And David Cameron is just fucking focused on his political career. This is why we need Jeremy Corbyn. This is why we needed Nigel Farage. Patterns and shapes and things that aren't there.
And so this is why if you stare long enough at a mirror, you'll see something creepy. Because
the workers will themselves be a privileged elite. And this is why I get angry at communists now. Because,
you know, schools when I was at school, you know, universities when I was at university, like this is why kind of mutual environments in which you are both at.
Because I'm fairly certain that this is why he's snippy with Spock, is because McCoy's, when he asked McCoy what's woman and hot, therefore I will be creepy towards you. So this is why we need education. This is why we need to fight.
No, I don't need to do it then. I need to ration the healing. This is why I built the farm, because it's like you can't get anywhere in this game now. Conventions are really good places to meet people, and this is why, you know, schools and workplaces, you know, schools when I was at school, you know, university.
I am the lowest of the low. This is why they stalk me. This is why they harass me. This is why they hack into my accounts. Because
yeah, it's... And this is why actually the school of movie, well, the last, this is abso-fucking-lutely ridiculous, and ladies and gentlemen, this is why I truly apologise for...
You cannot fix a problem with your genes. Okay? And this is why cancer is so very, very hard to stop, because, you know...
watch each other. And this is why you had triumvirates. Because, again, you have people who watch it.
Sad. I mean, this... I suppose, ultimately, this is why we really need to push space exploration,
like The Flash. I like time travel. In fact, this is why I like even prequels, or they goddamn continued them, or stuff like that. And this is why I kind of, if it gets used up, you can't write. This is why writer's block is a thing. But I didn't have money to get through. But I had this money in my bank account for getting this DLC, right? This is why I had done the work. I mean, this is, to a certain extent, this is why so many women spend their times, you know, sort of...
If you get any kind of job, and this is why it's kind of been so very difficult to escape from this shit.
Of not trying hard enough. And I think that this is why they have such an addiction to simplicity.
Power and overwhelming force. You know, this is saying, yes, we believe in liberty, and this is why we are going to limit
meat on my stuff, you know. I mean, this is why I've gone from writing distraction fix to now the idea of money generation. It will save your sanity. This is why I write, and this is why I do the YouTube videos, because
fun, okay? And this is why I stopped doing the fucking... This is why I stopped doing the Doctor Who Series 7B.
Third law, well, not Clarke's third law. This is why Asimov's laws of robotics don't work. Because, you know...
Because I ate too much cake at the moment. This is why I don't fucking use the exercise bike. It's because...
Yeah, and this is why I typically end up playing the first section over and over, and this is why I could actually play the first 11 hours.
Yes, we apologise if this is a little bit crap, but this is why We were doing this at the fringes of civilization, going slightly mad.
Going away and doing research. It is not talking angrily to people over the internet, right? This is why I make videos like this.
Because we know it doesn't work, because we've seen it happen for the last 5 years! So this is why Jeremy Corbyn is coming to power. Because
this is going to affect how you are within society and culture at large, and this is why we have, to a certain extent, completely ignore everything they say. And this is why, actually, Twitter is kind of more effective than Facebook. 'Cause Facebook, I like to do is think about stupid stuff, realistically. And this is why I'm sort of interested in sort of, I mean, it's like, that's why I basically think, this is why people in Britain think that Trump is a massive monster. I really need to stop spacebar being the fucking thing that stops thing. But like, this is why this is an Alex Fence video.
Want a woman president? Well, look at what happened the last time.
And this is why we still have people saying, remember Margaret, factable things, and this is why all of you have killed a woman, and this is why all of you have basically fucked up society, and this is why society... I mean, I actually think this is why we're seeing a lot of movement on the social justice front, because that...
But this is why it's a full and frank and honest thing, because it'd be very fucking easy for me to
stop stopping the boredom through socializing, through social media, and all that does is feed into my anxiety more. And this is why, actually, men are kind of fucking lost at the moment. And I think this is why we are resorting to essentially this idea of object line by line into the breach. This is how you suck. This is why you suck. This is why I disagree with you. This is every element on which you are.
Fucking hell, that is a good game. This is why I now own this mask, yeah? I'm sleeping more and more. This is why I don't want to wake up. This is why I sleep in all the fucking time. Because
to terrorism, the power of the one-man army who stands against the terrorists. And this is why we've seen far right can't really do discussions. Because this is why I can't really do discussions and civil disagreements with people.
This speech is fucking royalty, because there is tropes that are explaining this is why you should give a shit.
I mean, I know that this isn't about me, and this is why I have presaged this with all the... It's my new home from home. It is... and this is why I needed to kind of make this video to just... universe. I mean, this is why paradoxes make no sense, okay? It's not that, you know, you know, it's all just background static to me. It's, you know, I mean, this is why, to a certain extent, right, me and my family have such communication problems. It's very easy to fight a war when you've got a gun. This is why Marx said the proletariat should have guns. Paranoia and my self-loathing and depression spikes. This is why I need to spend an awful lot of time
quite, you know, not trying to, you know, not trying to name names, but this is why I am trying to kind of say, hey guys.
This is why I make the jokes about rape culture's a problem, not Muslims. This is why I make the jokes about needing to ban guns, because shit that would not... This is why second channel. This is why second channel. This is why I'm thinking about a second channel. Oh. Because every day is the same.
I mean, this is why I'm actually incredibly boring to talk to.
Difficult in the world of the Farshnuk. This is why I believe that I must continue to write shills until
Do need to ensure that there is something else to replace it with, you know. And this is why it's very fucking humiliation, horribleness. And so this is why I cling to this idea of morality, and this is why I am inflexible, and that people are who they are, right? Yes, we can change and adapt, and you know, this is why we have survived so long. I need to make sure that I have, because like this is why when I'm playing Skyrim, I have a mod called a mat, and they clearly knew it. And this is why we have seen a rise in xenophobic beatings. So this is why, in a way, like, right. This is why, in a way, it's almost reassuring when it's honestly. This is why I like universal basic income, in that it does benefit fingers in every fucking pie, right? So it doesn't matter if you shop around, right? But this is why I'm making this video now. You know, than you might think that dragons would be. And to be honest, this is why I got the Dragon Blood mod, because you kill a lot of dragons. This is why we have democracy. This is why we have a welfare system, in that. This is why I'm in favour of a universal basic income. And this is why I think Canada has got it right. And this is why I think Denmark has got it right. And this is what I...
this is why there being a female doctor matters to me. And this is why I care.
People turning up and saying, hello, I'm going to kidnap you and keep you as my pet. Like, this is why. This is the big background explanation. Begging for people to come work for them. I mean, of course, this is why, you know, we don't need a minimum wage, because everybody
To a podcast or an audiobook at the same time doesn't really work. And this is why I keep coming back to Minecraft time after
on sort of capitalistic exploitation and oppression and sort of women being shat upon. But this is why we are at this. I am making money every month. Yes, it's a goddamn pittance, but this is why I fucking deserve to live. And they just go, no, you don't. Hating me. I'm used to bullies hating me. I'm used to bloody bastard shitheads hating me. And this is why the whole, hey, we're gonna be... Believe that, you know, I'm wearing the 7th Doctor shirt here. You know, this is why I genuinely am of the opinion why it's a big thing within the fan community. And in a way, this is why the alt-right is almost kind of a positive. Have a fucking clue. We can't trust them. What the fuck do we do? And this is why you had, like, in the sort of the prime bit, as though like the right wing are just always the pragmatists, and so kind of this is why the Overton window is very dangerous. With it's something that, you know, this is why you have so much violence in video games, right? Genuinely suffered had it denied to them, right? So this is why, as far as I'm concerned, you make that separation, because victims. This is why fucking Saddam Hussein did all these things. This is why the making mistakes on such a grand scale that so many died. So many died, and this is why you get communism. Don't have is my hair.
Okay, now, this is why I suppose I will spill the secret of what the fuck is up with my hair. Of identity for men. This is why kind of the biggest insult you can give to a man is to call him a woman, is to call him shit, because this is why the American healthcare system sucks. This is why you need the NHS. And I think all of us in Britain know that we need the NHS. Of what you imagine my genitalia to look like. You can share massive tirades and essays saying, and this is why this video sucks in every single way.
And I think this is why people are reacting so badly, because it's like, but we have the ultimate answers.
I can't be prejudiced about this, because that's against my moral code. I mean, yes, this is why I have the moral code, is because
It says, you say a bad thing, I think you a bad person, I shall destroy you. Right? And this is why, for me, I travel sometimes, because, you know, essentially this is why I ended up getting hated by the trans people, because
this is why I'm so embarrassed by my writing, because it's, to me, it feels like it's
do dodgy things, you know.
It's, to a certain extent, this is why I like the anti-heroes who work on the side of...
How I came to YouTube was as a fan, and this is why, if you look on my playlists, right, there are a few playlists that are like Let's Plays. Violence should never be... I mean, this is why I think George R. R. Martin is an overrated writer, because, you know, I found...
You know, it's one thing kind of doing a kind of witty, ah ha ha ha, and this is how you do it, and then you kind of, you get to know the main, like, even to a certain extent, like, this is why in America, like, you know, when there are,
yeah, cool. Yeah, this is why I don't want to record the Democracy Free Let's Play at the moment, because kind of, you know, great essay of, no man, no, this is why you suck, and I just go, delete. That comment, you know, the comment that makes me look bad, the wealthy, the rich, they can do whatever the fuck they like. And yeah, this is why I'm never going to goddamn America.
no, you're wrong, and you're wrong, and you're wrong, and you're wrong, and this is why I'm right, and this is why I'm right. And, you know, the only difference...
And so this is why job hunting is so fucking shitty, because
Hands off!
In the name of the yard.
This is why you quick save. This is why you goddamn quick save.
Coming from?
you're not going to be able to get to a point where you can go out and start pushing yourself if you don't gain confidence. And this is why I found Scout. This is why I have been so gosh darn suicidal. And the more I learn about the situation, I mean, this is why I'm just like, accept the migrants. Accept migrants. Open without... the world on the internet is just sadistic and trying to destroy you. And this is why I believe that there's, you know, people best place in the world, because the internet seizes upon weakness and it attacks. You know, this is why being a feminist, but this is why I, you know, needed to go on benefits. This is why it was a big deal when Dad got cut out, because I don't want to be a burden on my... Yes, like, this is why I was sort of laughing and cheering when I found out the results, because it's like... Well, this is why I tend to regard people who watch my videos, at least to a certain extent, sort of meaning that I can only process so much at the same time. And this is why text chat is also annoying. Because, yes, I experienced dysphoria.
And this is why I kind of needed to explain the caveat that, you know, I get bored. I get bored. This is why when I'm with the wrong kind of company, right? And this is why, for me, I just focus on actions, right? And this is why I have approved comments. You say bad things,
Friends, go share this. Get people to like this page. So this is why I'm doing it on the internet. Because and this is why I was interested in politics, was because, like,
one aspect will remember the other things that are associated to it. This is why, to a certain extent, it helps if I always not got the strength to say it at the moment. This is why stressful situations involving people are a particularly bad idea, and things are going to get very, very bad. And this is why I kind of wanted to do a really fucking good Kickstarter, right? And so this is why they take well-known brands and then they go, time to turn it into a service. We all like originality. We all want something new. I mean, this is why I don't watch film and TV anymore. This is why school movies are very, very fair, and they're very balanced, and they do a lot of research, and this is why they will never touch Doctor Who, right? I do in my life that I don't have to stay there to be offended. I mean, this is why I'm always kind of stunned by the amount of dislikes I get, and so this is why I need to take the breaks, because it is so fucking long already, and this fucked up, okay? This is why I feel incredibly ashamed about my body. This is why why aren't you letting us attack you, Corbin? This is why we have to make up shit, because you don't do anything wrong ever.
this is why I need to listen to a book whilst playing video games. And this is why I can't just, you know, exercise on my exercise bike.
All these things, but this is why this is why I am doing such a rambling video, because if I just sort of did a
quick cut of shots, a quick cut of showing this is why they're bad, this is why they're bad, this is why they're bad.
Well, this is why I've got the water bucket, to be fair.
I apologise if I have given you nightmare fuel now, but I mean, this is why I got so fucking goddamn angry at the Doctor Who fans.
Sin, Godwin's law. But this is why. Okay? This is why I don't give the slightest fucking shit that there were goddamn my computer's crap. But, you know, this is why I like Let's Plays and podcasts and, well, videos much like the one you're watching, as a piece of fiction that I wrote. But, you know, this is why it's kind of hard for me, because it had its fair share of mad emperors, and this is why when, you know, people for their lives, they cling even harder to their beliefs. This is why there is the old joke that there is no atheist on a crashing plane.
But again, not fantastic, not kind of. So this is why it's an awesome film. Equally, the music,
You will make more, and you reward the people who work hard, and this is why they're rich. You know, like they don't. I don't. This is why I purge people. This is why I say, yes, I am God. You all cannot touch me, because it's fundamentally right. Sainsbury's or Waitrose and stuff, and I'd see all the sweets and it like, you know. I mean, this is why my mouth is just filled with fillings, like, you know, imagination. I mean, this is why the fucking trolls are. This is why they fucking are laughable to me. That's an incredibly boring thing to say, but it is. It's. This is why I love Minecraft. You know. Minecraft is just. And almost this is why I'm having trouble finding a job, because the kind of jobs that people. I genuinely think this is why women feminists get so much shit, and why on at the same time as all these different countries are primed at each other. Okay, and this is why this is very much.
No, you cannot, and this is why I am objectively better, because I have objectively pointed out blue mountain flower, mountain flowers. See, this is why you take the roads, you get the mountain flowers.
Logisio could easily use this to torture someone, but this is why you have lambs. You no longer need to send someone to college and university. This is why I watch films. This is where I watch TV series. This is why I watch Let's Plays. This is why I record these videos.
And so, this is why it's an issue for me. Because I get defensive.
Labour's austerity light. So this is why I was initially in favour of voting Trump or Cruz if Hillary wins the Democratic nomination.
You know, you say, okay, is this thing worth enough for me? And this is why I will, you know, I mean, I spend my time on the...
Truly fascinating for me. Truly very fucking fascinating for me. And this is why I write these kinds of stories, right? I don't... of why you're doing the shit that you're doing. I mean, this is why I genuinely have more respect for... That utterly baffles me. That utterly baffles me, and this is why I haven't been able to make that nice. You know, I mean, this is why. Well, no, there are a lot of reasons I dislike the Big Bang Theory, but it can certainly be read into it, and I don't like it. This is why John Pertwee's Doctor gets. Oh God, I'm a horrible monster. Oh God, this is why I suck at everything. You know, I'm really neurotic, really. I'm sort of switched on enough to sort of realise, this is why I like it. Yes. Because basically adding things. This is why review channels do well. This is why Let's Play channels do well, right? Because derivative content has Team Shire. But yeah, I'm sort of. This is why I've been watching the sort of Marvel films. This is what news. I mean, this is why I didn't want to fucking cover the fucking Nazis in Newcastle. I mean, this is why I've been making YouTube videos for the last 2 years. And like this is why so many people, you know, become alcoholics, become, you know, drug addicts. The cacophony can be heard. This is why I am constantly having headphones.
But is that in actuality a space whale? And this is where I'm reminded of Farscape and Doctor Who, because, you know, the second...
But on political science or sociological issues or philosophy. And yeah, this is why I don't do debate.
That makes me genuinely sick, and this is why I created the circle in the world of the Farscape. This is why...
Over and over again. You know, this is why I make the videos, this is why I make the blog posts, this is why I make the Facebooks. And this is just something that I know about myself. So this is why, in a way, like,
in politics for the last 20 years. For the last 20 years, nothing has fucking happened. Right? This is why liberalism. I mean, ultimately, this is why I sympathise with the Black Lives Matter people, and this is why I vote Green. And a piece of, entertainment media, it's alright. But I think in terms of this is why the show sucks, I disagree. This is why I get so fucking annoyed at my parents for belittling the progress. For me, it's, it's what people do, and that's what I do. It's just that I suppose this is why when I read, the Virgin New Adventure, right? And this is why I will be erring on the side of sort of good characters, please just handing them bullet points with weaknesses. This is why I feel like sexism seems such a big issue on the internet. I suppose two exceptions, these, because it's, this is why I still wear shirts everywhere. Basically, I'm gonna be doing questing. This is why I'm now going to ease off on the collecting of the money, and I'm now hiring. And so this is why I can't really do discussions, because
I mean, this is why I had a resurgent interest into comics, because it was like,
oh, because every day is the same. I mean, this is why I'm actually incredibly boring to talk to. But, this is why I support Jeremy Corbyn. I believe that socialism is a good thing. So when
he knows it. Like, this is why I talk about Doctor Who so goddamn much, and this is why me not liking Doctor Who at the moment.
So what do we do then? What do? Well, this is why and this is how it works. This is how these movements work. And this is why actually I love satire and sarcasm, because not care. It's an excuse to not care. And this is why I don't like the attitude of, well, we're not.
I mean, for God's sake, this is why I am saying that in America you can't go on encouraging people to commit suicide. And this is why ISIS do these things. This is why ISIS... This is why ISIS ISIS behead people and push people downstairs.
That a surplus of workers affects the wage, right? This is why ultimately CEOs can make so much. Because I was like, I mean, maybe this is why I should watch films alone, because I think too much and I care too much. Aspect of it, but yeah, this is why this story, whilst in all of the stuff that I've who don't protect themselves, this is why women go to the toilets in in herds, right? This is why they go. Maybe this is why you can get a smartphone for £30, because over and over and over again. This is why I have no problem eating the same meal time after time after time after time. I suppose this is why I need to go for fantasy, because my natural over and over and over again complete and utter horseshit, right? And this is why I genuinely don't know
radicals, you are defining yourself as one with the radicals. Okay? This is why feminazis is a thing, okay? Because
And the right wingers don't have any thought. So this is why I'm a regulated capitalist, because apart from anything else, they see capital. We should completely, absolutely stop all contact, and this is why my dad presumably is making a post for others to see. It's a complete time I completed Skyrim. It was with automatic perk unlocking. So I kind of thought, well, this is why I was so awesome at it.
this is why shit like the Slaughtering Grounds comes up. This is why Steam is filled with shitty games, is because people are like...
Thing about per day is drastically low. Drastically low. And this is why I'm constantly drinking caffeine.
Fucking testosterone in my body normally, because my pituitary gland is very fucked up. Okay? This is why I feel this. Okay? And this is why I find fascinating. Because I went into this hearing all of the complete force that is making so many of you suffer and die. This is why we stop fascists. This is why dictators are not liked. Okay.
I use all the words I see around me, right? This is why I swear all the time, because it's part of my
The toilets in, you know, in herds, right? This is why they go into the toilets in groups, because it gets to them. It's tax. And this is why all the great revolutions throughout history, well, most of them, have some element of tax.
But until that moment, this is why I will eat meat despite saying what I'm going to say now.
I have to make sure that I am being fair and balanced, and like this is why I will, you know, some kind of thing seeded throughout saying, you know, this is why nobody likes you. This is your. And I genuinely don't think that I'm that great. You know, this is why I suffer in, you know, terms of...
He can be as great as my mate. And he knows some of them. And this is why this is a dangerous topic. Because one
might to try and bring someone down, right? And this is why, to a certain extent, someone like me who has already got
is dropping and dropping and dropping because adverts are not working as well as they used to. And this is why YouTube is either it is perfect and it is better, or it is shit and I am never doing it. And so this is why he basically just... This is why you're fucked up. This is why you're fucked up. This is why you're fucked up. This is why all of you have done very horrible things.
And this is why you want smooth. This is why you want fancy setting and not smooth like.
Fucking do all of this to fucking be masculine and what the... I mean, this is why, to a certain extent, I ain't gonna fucking bother. Because, like...
Yes, I am utterly immune to being insulted. Now let me tell you how to insult me. But this is why feminism is time, and in the process solves a different problem. I mean, this is why I had the other exercise bike up here, because I have the kinds of issues that are happening in the world, and he did a very kind of procedural breakdown of this is why I think this is what is happening.
This is why we have women's refuges, right? This is why we have Black History Month and Gay Pride.
They see? Look how horrible they are. This is why we must fight them, because it's the only way they stand a chance in hell of doing anything. All of you have basically fucked up society, And this is why society is broken. Okay, it's because you all do out the window. This is it, said Laura. This is why I'm queen, to be the neck this axe falls upon.
By stories. I mean, fundamentally, right, this is why I struggle at writing female characters. Partly, it's, you know...
I think in years to come, I am quite rightly going to look at that and go, yeah, this is why it failed.
So, I'm fairly certain this is why people are, you know, this is why people are touting right to die, right?
Why fucking Saddam Hussein did all these things. This is why this is why Saudi Arabia beheads so many fucking people.
This is why it works on women, right? Except when you do that to me,
Someone was just...
Carlos bless you, my child.
Vampires, this is why the story is interesting because of that. There is a clear through line. This is why they are doing what they are doing. Okay, if I do this and you continue making videos, I must get my pound of flesh. And this is why ISIS do these things. This is why
Well, fuck you then. Fuck off with you then. You know, this is why autism is taking over. Yes. And really, this is why I wrote the fucking consumption of me, because it's just in a manner that doesn't get the right fucking guy. I mean, ultimately, this is why you have the right to a fair trial.
like Twilight Breaking Dawn, how he kept bringing up, no, but seriously, this is why I'm writing. It's like, dude, fucking Ross has done.
No. This is why the Southern Guard song, by Gavin Dunn. This is why equally there are, you know, I mean, this is why women, well, no, it's not why, but it is just a fact that women, and this is where, again, the douchebags kinda have a point. If I am looking properly into camera, then my eye is getting constantly fucking blinded. So this is why I always look to the side, because it's like, yes, I have been a regular capitalist, and this is why I am, up to a certain technological level, a regulated capitalist. One knife. And this is why we have the petitions and the peaceful protests, because yeah, this is why I'm stuck playing Minecraft and Solitaire. This is why I don't care. You, why aren't you letting us attack you, Corbin? This is why we have to make up shit, because you don't do anything wrong ever.
He kept badgering me, and this is why trolls don't get to me, okay? Because
Fun. I do this because I like to. I don't do it for you. Do it for me. This is why there's no fucking editing.
Sharknado 2 doesn't open with, and this is why the Sharknado is happening. Which is fair enough.
Fuck away! You're not looking there. Why are you looking there? Yep. And so this is why for the longest time I didn't watch porn.
And so this is why I'm kind of thinking that, you know, I mean, okay, I will be honest, like,
Right, like, this is why neurotypical people struggle with autistic people, is because to this in common, yeah?
let's go back to this. We understand this, yeah, like this, you know? This is why I keep fucking referring to Doctor Who.
And then you go out, and he's just there, rolling on the roof, saying, oh yeah, this is what you can't see. I am Runnikin, I am cute.
You have to objectively learn social behaviour as a kind of conscious thing to enact. This is why when I'm tired, when I am stressed,
Look, a target, poof. You know, and this is why trigger warnings for the internet are just such delicious fun.
and to a certain extent, like, this is why I am so very open about how much of a fuck up I am, because what you look like and who you are not the same thing. I mean, this is why I won't ever get a tattoo.
This is a bad thing because they're scary. But you know, this is why we are so lucky. This is why the Tories are so lucky.
Before. And this is why shit like the slaughtering grounds comes up. This is why
I really love D&D 4th edition, because yes, it's balanced. Yes, I don't have to deal with the horror to be unseen, and this is why actually I basically refuse to say to have any.
A very self-loathing individual. I don't know how to advertise myself. This is why I can't do CVs. It's just like kind of in this odd stage where things are just being tried out. But this is why I like universal basic income. We already have systems in, and this is why I'm putting out more videos. This is why I'm trying to do a video every single day. And incidentally, apparently I'm on the...
certain things take precedence. So this kind of, for me, is like, this is why I care. This is why there being a female doctor.
This is why I can get confused at times and say things that are kind of insensitive.
That is like, this is why this is not true, this is why this is not true, this is why this is not true. But people are only gonna see the headline and they are only...
And it's glorious, and I can't fucking write about it. I mean, this is why when I sort of write stuff, I write essentially...
And then he'd say, no, but this is why you're wrong, empirically so. And so that really...
This is why they lose. Because they're lies, they're echoes, they have no substance to. I suppose for a certain extent, maybe this is why I'm so uptight about being moral, because if
us up, we're gonna bomb the crap out of them.
I mean, this is why it's kind of terrifying watching Trump's rise to power.
to increase your chances. And this is the sort of thing that kind of this is why I kind of half jokingly gave the warning at the beginning about.
I mean, this is why, you know, like I outright spell it out for you, say this is what you do.
Governments keep raising the age at which people are working. I'm fairly certain this is why people are, you know, this is why
I make going down line by line, and this is why this sucks, this is why this sucks. You can do that. Just do it somewhere fucking else, you know.
Some voice cracks. I apologize for that. It may also explain why this is why there are a lot of buts. Basically, why there.
Unfortunately, in our society, when you talk about women's looks, it matters. But this is why I actually like Missy, by Gavin Dunn. This is why Basket by Dan Mangan. This is why God Help Me, I Was Only 19 by the Red Card.
Really, is the change. This is what has gotten these people so terribly scared. This is why the BBC is not. This is my opinion of how the world works, and this is why it annoys me. I am very much aware that I am
of people that I regularly communicate with. This is why I kind of keep everyone, even my closest friends, a little bit distant.
We need more women writers, we need more black writers, and this is why there are so many fucking women's magazines that...
Right. That's why he can understand computers. He can't understand art. You know, this is why he asked what passionate means, right?
It's like this is why, you know, Clarke's third law, not Clarke's third law, this is why Asimov's laws...
Society acts to autistic people, okay? You know, and this is why I wanted to sort of talk about. Yup, said the pterodactyl, and this is why I will only ever be thankful for the change I have undergone. I mean, I am a man who... Dude, religion is not based on facts. This is why they worship pink and purple elephants.
Just makes it more likely that your stuff is going to be found. Creating something new just doesn't work, right? This is why when people bring up comments saying the movie specific review of Pacific Rim is like, this is why, this is a classic example of why, just for me, fandom is... And this is why I think I have been trying... Shit! It is all just shit. And this is why I write fucking fetish fiction.
People say, well, if you read the book, then you know that this is why it's not a pile of shit.
Actually is why Nigel Farage succeeds. This is why Donald Trump succeeds. Because they stand by their own fucking...
Why I broke my moral code. This is why I tried to force Dad out of the house, because I don't care anymore. Allows policemen to do something, they're gonna exploit it. Everybody exploits it. This is why most of the anti-terror... I am in love with complexity, in love with problems. And this is why, you know, someone can write an article that is like, this is why this is not true, this is why this is not true, this is why this is not true.
Sympathise with the Black Lives Matter people, and this is why I vote Green, and this is why I'm kind of like, well, if Clinton wins, I'm...
And it would go on like that for like 10 replies. Each would just be going, yeah, this is why I feel I'm right in holding my views. Disarming video, like the video where I'm like, okay, you know what, fuck it. This is my shame. This is why I hate myself. This is why I feel suicide.
You don't want to have them because they can be used in the wrong way. And so this ultimately is why this is why you restrict.
Let's be frank here. This is why kind of castration is seen, is used as a metaphor.
And maybe this is why you don't need... I mean, obviously, like, I'm talking about review, to cut out the snorting, right? And this is why you will see more Let's Plays. You will only going to have people here who look like me. And this is why, similarly, things like homophobia and transphobia and, you know...
Down homogeneous thing that doesn't really satisfy anybody, okay? And this is why This is why Doctor Who
is unhelpful, less processing time to respond to that data. And so this is why I hate phone calls, right? Because online communication.
This is why I hate myself. This is why I feel suicidal when I look in the mirror. And this guy takes this video.
So this is why, I mean, like, to a certain extent, this is why I'm constantly bitching about my family.
It's on you. It's okay to have differences of fucking political. This is why I don't debate.
It has its own strange language of references. And this is why we see it referred to as cult TV, cult films.
Morally right things aren't legal things. This is why we have governments to make sure that all the immoral buggers.
And this is why I pause during videos when I hear footsteps outside, to genuinely like this kind of thing. And you know, I suppose to a certain extent, this is why, for me, whilst I
do not want things to spawn and kill me, so this is why I am doing this.
right? Yes, it is flawed. Capitalism is a deeply flawed system, and this is why I support regulated capitalism, because
behaviour in Britain. And this is why we've seen Theresa May pivoting her sort of
Crucial bit of whatever that says, oh yes, this is why people act in this way, and so you must do this to treat them like. But by reading how to write good. I mean, this is why we study Shakespeare, because you can learn to write by.
that's just telling, you know, a horror story. That's just, and this is why they're horrible douchebags, right? You know, my computer not the best. Okay, this is why I don't play, you know, like Mass Effect or even Fallout New Vegas, because it's.
Dude, fucking Ross has done that to me. It doesn't help anything. Saying no, but seriously, this is why I'm right. It's just gonna piss people off and make.
happened. This is why leftyism has happened. This is why we have got gay rights and we.
I like questions where there are no simple answers. I mean, to a certain extent, this is why I like politics, because there's going to be a certain amount of it. I mean, I almost wonder if this is why these people are so in favour of racial profiling. Right? Like America, they have mass shootings every fucking day of the week, right? I mean, this is why I didn't want to do a video on Orlando, because actually, this is the problem that I had with Oblivion. This is why I've had to stop playing Oblivion and I've started playing Minecraft again.
Oh God, I do want to pick a goddamn fight. I really shouldn't, and this is why I haven't yet. But sharks over and over and over and over again. This is why for so many years I had insomnia, because basically
In this edition of The Killing Joke, it's there is no great, and this is why whatever. There is no dabbling into.
Single cell in your body is a living thing that will continue living and reproducing if possible. This is why cuts heal, and
Is making people buy shit they don't need. I mean, this is why basically everybody who.
I'm taking you down with me maneuver. It's revenge. I don't like revenge. This is why I don't fucking like Batman.
angry. And the British, we don't do revolution. We we don't. This is why when we're talking about
And in it, he basically kind of loses his shit because this is why the American healthcare system sucks. This is why you need pause during videos when I hear footsteps outside. And this is why I kind of always fiction. You know, I mean, this is why I actually still have hope and optimism in the world. This is why we had flip phones. This is why we had bloody touchpads and iPads, and because people watched. Become the comments. Well, you little spastic 10-year-old girl. Then this is why that you are this crap. Yada 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 yada. Buy your butt crap. And to a certain extent, this is why I love Nine Worlds Geek Fest. Because,
I mean, I suppose, like, ultimately, this is why I am of the opinion that, you know,
like, I mean, in a way, this is why I've got the Dragon Souls perks and the Perkius Maximus potion.
because it makes good business sense. This is why you are surprised that I have empathy. This is why it is such an alien concept to you. Oh my God.
Schedule these videos. This is why I can't, you know, have a plan and go, okay, today we're going to tackle this.
People I read about, like, everybody's kind of screwed. And this is why I say I was a regulated capitalist, because capitalism is dying.
Don't come to me if you have a disagreement. I'm just explaining this is why my format is the way it is, okay? I like doing it this way. I know the Nazis at this point. I mean, this is why I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore, because it's just it. And I suppose, ultimately, fundamentally, this is why I like to have my cake and eat it. This is...
You are one or the other. You cannot be on the spectrum. I mean, this is why I say people on the grand spectrums of time and the multiverse.
Sorry about that. Yeah. This is why you don't record on tablets. But this guy,
one saying, you know, you don't have any fans. You're just a little cow. And this is why we're talking about this today.
I absolutely, I can understand reasons on both sides. But this is why I think to actually sit down in a conversation with them and explain one-to-one, no, seriously, this is why you're wrong. But, this is why I am now weeping into a pillow. I shouldn't make jokes about being...
By its very nature, as a judgment call, subjective. It is subjective. This is why books...
Okay, and people will point this out, 4chan will point this out as if it undermines my point. Motherfucker, this is why you can never fucking touch me, because
in a goddamn chamber debating things the entire fucking time. I mean, for God's sake, this is why the internet is so fucking annoying. Because you get into and the boredom gets to you. And so this is why it's so thoroughly fucking mind-blowing, because this is the game.
Your rights to be an asshole, and this is why we're going to limit your rights to become all-powerful, because at a say insults that people can deal with, you know. This is why, to a certain extent, pranks are a tolerable thing, right? The fucking election, and he's not going to win the general election in America. But this is why I care. This is why ridiculous. And terrifying and horrifying. And yeah, so this is why I'm like, maybe we
in a video, doing a video like this where you rant and say, no, but this is why liberalism sucks, this is why being a lefty sucks, then...
And yet that's what the fucking Blairites do. This is why Owen Smith lost, right?
Kind of, I mean, funnily enough, this is why Torchwood, you know, even series 1 and 2, in my opinion, worked, was...
And this is why we use wood to build, ladies and gentlemen, because wood isn't plentiful freaking...
I'll forget about you. This is why it is such... This is why it's so laughable when people are like, dude, can you please unblock me on Twitter? No, I can't.
Big. And this is why I haven't done fuzzy logic yet. Although, also with fuzzy logic, there are...
be so fucking easy to get hold of. And that's really it. Like, this is why I can't do nuance. Because none of the other Daedric things. I mean, genuinely, this is why I hated Skyrim to begin with, because it, you know, I think it's like,
I feel defensive. This is why I've been straddling the fucking brain, thinking about stabbing myself through the...
happened all the fucking time, when it was constantly shouting. Okay? This is why I have this voice! This!
Madhouse, my ability to use this social instinct goes away, and this is why saying to me, well, just talk to a woman, doesn't actually... It's gonna be drow. It's gonna be drow. This is why they are giving us the heals.
this is why I didn't fucking comment about Remembrance Sunday. Okay?
Sapiosexual thing going on there of like, you're really intelligent, I love that. And this is why I kind of have a crush on many a true nerd. I haven't
a problem eating the same meal time after time after time after time. This is why I can reasonably survive, whether, you know, enacting certain principles will really be better for us, right? You know, this is why I do genuinely find myself sort of screaming, that happened with poor people. This is why you have universal basic income. This is why you have welfare, because it helps you when your economy is in the shits.
Of knowing the fucking rules. Because you see, the thing is, if you don't tell me, I can't know. This is why I am paranoid as fuck, because
he who fights monsters should be careful lest he himself becomes corrupted by them. And in fact, this is why I actually found the document. And I think that if you're gonna say, and this is why we're purging you, that, you know, you go
on it. And that's privatization. Privatization is just paying rich fuckers to do nothing. This is why the NHS is a mess.
Because you see, it only takes one bullet. It only takes one knife. And this is why we have,
well, every one of the characters, you know. In some ways, this is why having a sort of a TV series or
and my writing and my Skyrim and whatever. And this is why I spend my time sleeping more and more. This is why I don't want to.
Is far, far easier said than done, because, you know, I mean, I suppose in a way this is why, like, I can afford to make,
you know, I mean, this is why I write sci-fi. I love technology, and technology absolutely
noticing subconsciously, you know, issues. And this is why I'm so fucking embarrassed by my writing.
And doing it, and doing it, and doing it, and doing it, and doing it. This is why I can drink squash over and over and over again.
This is why I have no, like, on the verge of happiness, basically says, no, this is why you're fucked up, this is why you're fucked up, this is why you're fucked up, this is why all of... There will always be a search history somewhere where even if you delete it, it's going to stay there. Like, this is why actually they're oof, you know. And this is why trigger warnings for the internet are just such delicious fun. Society is struggling to keep up with technological developments. Because, I mean, this is why clickbait, because you've got to pump stuff out there, and to a certain extent, like, this is why you end up in journalism, because it's not just about people creating. And so this is why, you know, owning a gun is a suicide risk. This is why it's, I mean, this is why, you know, this whole thing of tranquil fury is would they listen if we have spent time insulting them? And this is why I take issue with, you know, sketches on the Daily Show or yeah, this is why I want to make sure I finish this one, because this would just be real. Will be something that ties into all these different films. I mean, this is why Guardians of the Galaxy did so well. Okay, it was socially what I am supposed to be doing. This is why I am much better with a small number of people, because
Now things are mandated. Our democracy is a sham built on money. Okay? And this is why nobody fucking votes.
for me, you know, this is why you try and do it in the best way possible. Because if you're gonna have something and live different lives that are more engaging for them. And this is why we are seeing the push for social liberalism. It's a very fucked up situation. And I suppose kind of this is why I kind of feel, I suppose, energized to talk about this now. Entire nations brought to bear and lost. And this is why you get communism. This is why you get socialism. This is why you get revolution. And kind of, this is why the idea of having robots on the battlefield terrifies me. I mean, kind of, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I kind of want us to do it. It's because I feel genuine. This is why so many video games are kill this thing, kill this thing, kill this thing. Because it is
Fuck you, fuck you! And the Republican movement sort of says, see, this is why we need to fucking get rid of the fuckers! The shower room, I baked in the summer, and this is why in Wolverhampton, a very cold place that only do Doctor Who doesn't. And to be honest, I think this is why I have not been liking Doctor Who as much lately, because it doesn't matter. And so this is why I don't like getting into debates, because debates don't fucking change, stand entirely opposed to. So this is why I have to delete your comments. This is why, kind of, if I see a democracy and you haven't had a democracy for such a long time, and this is why I really feel like, you know, we're as one thing in context with, and this is why I made the references that I made. This is what the references mean. So that, especially in this age where everybody's got their phones out, I mean, this is why so many people, so many mass shooters in America. An explosion is going to happen. You want it to be calm and controlled. This is why, you know, firefighters in Australia, when they, because of my fucked up hormones, I see some thing that is not just a man. And And this is why I can't look in the mirror, because it's just like...
This is why I have fucking trust issues. This is why I have goddamn bloody trust videos. This is why I make the blog posts. This is why I make the Facebooks. Because I'm just like, I'm going to say this one.
You will obey us. And this is why this is why America has such a thoroughly anti-democratic system.
Culturally insecure men are gonna see that as a danger. And this is part of why trans people get fucking comedians in jail because they made a joke about the Prime Minister, right? Right? This is why we, in medieval times,
Express, hey, please stop, in a way that gets through to her.
okay, this is why I want
to be as far away from, and this is a thing you can talk about. Like this is why I like going to conventions. This is, and so this is why this is why I'm very much in favour of, you know, trickle-up economics, because
anchors in the ground of like common ground. This is why I used to talk so much about fucking Doctor Who.
my brain needs to be suitably distracted. I mean, this is why I can't just read a book. This is why I need to...
Elf by birth, but I was raised up.
See, this is why I like him.
Through reasons I'm still trying to discover, I ended up off.
And this is why saying to me, well, just talk to a woman, doesn't actually fucking help me. And this is why saying, well, don't... Psychiatrist or some kind of psyche person. And she's doing the whole, yes, and this is why the person who is acting like a camp supervillain can educate and inspire, okay? This is why we had flip phones. This is why we had bloody touchpads. And
this is where the whole bullshit about the cis white male comes from, right? This is why the right wing latches onto
all my friends are fucking miles away and I have no money to fucking see them. This is why I want to get a D&D group going. This is why politicians who kind of are supposed to know shit, right? And this is why you need to be in somewhere in the middle. And America...
While Moore's Law has been going on, software has been struggling to keep up. This is why this is why we, and it is morally ambiguous, because, you know, I mean, this is why I prefer the prequels to the Phantom Menace. Then suddenly the government is scary against you. This is why you like racial profiling. This is why you like the idea of saying, well, so I genuinely, this is why I do the sort of pickpocketing and can't pin him down. And so I suppose this is why we're going to be talking about this, is that it's like, right, it's all context sensitive, right? And this is why I am always like full on. I will send everything. I will write. Whereas that doesn't happen with poor people. This is why you have universal basic income. This is why no. Oh, no, that song's different. But this is why those songs.
no matter how beautiful, no matter how gilded, no matter how easy, I will never do it if there is an alternative. This is why I will never have any fun. The Doctor gives, essentially, through timey-wiminess, the Doctor tells Clara, so this is why I went off travelling the universe. I don't want to just have a gun and just go, oh my god, I'm about to die. I mean, this is why I found Spec Ops The Line fucking boring.
So the question comes. I mean, this is why ad hominem attacks don't work, right?
I'm fine with that. If someone wants to come onto my, Facebook and write a fucking essay on this is why you suck, you fucking idiot, I'm okay.
No, we ain't gonna fucking hit like, favorite, and subscribe, motherfucker. I swear, this is why my videos get so many dislikes, because stone with which to draw imagery upon. I mean, this is why I, in a sort of video, and now a word from my neuroses, I opened it with a song about getting killed, trying to kill things without getting killed. Because I'm not the best gamer in the world. I mean, this is why I kind of, I don't like... And to a certain extent, this is why I am giggling with childish joy at the fact that I have actually genuinely made away with the fucking grandfather paradox. You know, that's the whole bloody point of it. Like, this is why physicists like the multiverse. There's no way in hell you're gonna afford perk potions. So, this is why I went down the thievery route. Okay, part of this is that I want it away it goes, and I guarantee you other people feel the same way. I mean, this is why trigger warnings came about. Trigger warnings came about be subject to violent revolution. And so this is why I want us to have a peaceful revolution first, because if and purchase some coffee with this fine British steel. No, this is why financial institutions are too big to fail. And this is why I don't give a fucking shit what people say about my weight and the caffeine and why.
See, this is why I will keep writing about this. Because I just get so angry.
I mean, this is why I kind of had to leave Tumblr. Because it's like, in many ways, I think I can trust who betray that trust to destroy me. And this is why I don't have a large... Oh, and obviously, you can let these things go to the nth degree, right? This is why I generally believe that, so this is why your character sheet is important. Now, I am going to...
Please, until we have the speech up, we can't risk it. And to be honest, this is why I have quick saving. Because you make excellent.
And this is why I'm scared. This is why I am so fucking scared, because yeah, it's not fucking nice. It's not fucking nice, and that's why they have fucking safe spaces. This is why we have women's refuges. Fucking distant. And this is why I have, essentially a quarantine page for people who like my... They the fucking way that they can. Maybe this is why writers end up going on fucking retreats just about power imbalanced relationships, and this is why I like to play Stone, because it's like, hey, I'm fantasizing about the degree of finesse I have to be consciously processing. And so for me, like, this is why there is a different hierarchy of... Have, testicles size of baked beans means that I am the lowest of the low. This is why they stalk me. This is why they harass. Real life has crossed the fucking threshold for me. Real life is too absurd. And so this is why I feel like it is important to remember that
we ain't gonna fucking play that. And this is why we like signposts. You goddamn know what they are like. Heck, I think
just talk to girls, right? I mean, this is why the pickup artist movement exists. This is why... Fucking deal to me, And this is why I love the 7th Doctor. This is why I love the 11th Doctor in America, mate. And that's why your political system is so fucked up. Okay? I mean, this is why it would kind of be a good thing if Donald Trump, and so many of us have got rage problems and we've got addictions, and I mean, this is why I am very conscious never to drink too. And this is where kind of this is why Vor is difficult, because so yeah, this is why I created the fan page as a quarantine for the hate. Maybe this is why you don't just do the things whenever there's a thing. But on her, because this is the big thing, right? This is why I needed to go on benefits. This is why it was a big deal when addressing these people. So this is why I am kind of quite vaguely, not trying to, We can play that game. We can play that game. And this is why I'm putting out more videos. This is why I'm trying to do a video. This is going to be one heck of a car crash, and almost this is why I want to quit Minecraft, because it's like that can play on a lot of different things that make us think. And so this is why. Well, I'm not saying this is why, but certainly I have considered that maybe this is why my sleeping pattern is so fucked up. But on the other hand, like, it's Cappadocia, and you are now famished. And it's okay. This is why this is a bullshit argument. Okay. This is why I can only kind of make sense of it by reducing it down to video game dialogue. This is why I keep writing so much shit, to be honest, right? This is why I am writing stories that are blatantly just actually leave it up to audience interpretation. I mean, this is why Jaws is so scary, is that Jaws saves the shark reveal until the end. Murder, but it could save you from yourself. I mean, this is why it's a good idea for me that I got this, up, because I just want to play the goddamn fucking game. This is why I'm stuck playing Minecraft and Solitaire. This is why capture the money that they spend, right? Like, I mean, this is why, in the olden days, thing for me, like every little tiny thing. I mean, to a certain extent, this is why I don't edit, because it's the people have a go at men. Men don't give a shit. I mean, this is why I worry when I get angry. And indeed, I would say it's a line that I'm very fucking shit at. This is why, to a certain extent, the way I write could be very easily as well, to just make that job a little bit harder. So this is why I basically do not communicate in any forms with I mean, to a certain extent, this is why I like making the videos that I make, is because, I can take to make sure I get the testosterone injections. This is why I got the fucking watch, is because I need to know, right? This is why very often when I'm sort of loudly repeating to myself that I will do or not do something, but it's a complicated mess. This is why I'm gonna do this big old thing. Has been struggling to keep up. This is why this is why we are in a culture of continuous upgrades. I mean, nothing that is light and fun.
Like, this is why I want to watch Star Trek. You know, this is why I like Voyager, because, yeah, Voyager...
They just kind of said, yeah, they're all part of the great Roman pantheon. Keep doing it. Right? And this is why there are kind of, you know, Greek...
You do other illegal things to protect your livelihood. You know, this is why you are tolerant to religions, even if, like me, you are...
Due to the vitamin. I mean, this, in many ways, is why I'm so fat. This is why my teeth are so fucking horrible. Because ultimately, you have to massively multiply online role-playing games work. This is why casual mobile games work. And this, even to a certain extent, is why we now, this is why I'm now entering the kind of the next phase of the game. This is why from this point on, I'm basically... Why do you think I spent the last year so goddamn depressed? And so this is why I like to write weird shit about...
No, this is the explanation, this is why I'm right. I don't need to hear your explanation. Because if I want...
And this is why you get communism. This is why you get socialism. This is why you get revolutions of people saying, no, more, no. This is why you kind of explore caves, I suppose, but it's just... There isn't... I'm just... I mean, this is why I don't really care about the fact that I'm, you know, drinking squash or, to be part of a fucking family. And it's like... I suppose fundamentally this is why sort of I have ended up surrounded. But the reason Let's Plays are fun to me is because, you know, it's almost, it's like, this is why the Farshnuk is so fun to write. It is overpopulated. People are, I mean, I look at things globally, so this is why I kind of, I'm like, this is why I don't watch film and TV anymore. This is why I don't play video games because I'm crap and my computer's crap. And I know that this is why there are these apparent double standards. You know.
That says, well, isn't it better that we know they are arseholes? And this is why we like freedom of speech. Because then you know those, you know, this kind of... This is why I wasn't sure whether I wanted to publish it or not. Because if I want to do this, I push that button. If I want to do that, I push that button. This is why I like menus.
And blood and gore, which is all incredibly cheap. This is why you have so many goddamn zombie films. Because...
I mean, this is why I can't just read a book. This is why I need to listen to a book whilst playing video games. Beating myself up about things over and over and over and over and over and over, and this is why I'm horrible, and this is why I'm horrible, and this is why I'm horrible, this is horrible.
Getting surgical treatment for these issues. And so this is why I had such a hard time understanding
if you do not argue with goddamn pain. You know, like, this is why I am... You don't argue with pain. Pain is bad. It's caused by a frankly ludicrous and unjust war, the war on terror. Okay. So this is what I am. I mean,
who are mentally unwell, who, you know, like, I mean, this is why I've been, you know, complaining about neoliberalism and writing is stuff that would make radical feminists want to rake me over hot coals. This is why I am terrified of feminists.
and so you've got the issue there of, like, this is why every issue needs to work together.
You know, this is why being a feminist, but this is why being a feminist is like ringing the goddamn dinner bell. Because over and over and over and over and over, and this is why I'm horrible, this is why I'm horrible, and this is why I'm horrible, you're so horrible, this, that, all this. And it's like,
or even be better than humans. I mean, this is why self-driving cars are such a great improvement. They're not about replicating how humans
utter dicks. They are not good people. They are fucking around people. And this is why, I mean, obviously, this is why I made the video Autistic People Are Superior, is because it's a spectrum.
And I think that by the time we do, it will probably be a bit too late. So this is why I like saying, okay, well, essentially you have this great opening.
they're painful, they're short, they're brutal, you know. And this is why actually I think my fight scenes work best.
Oh. This is why Poe's law is a problem. In that there are people by kind of mutual environments in which you are both at are good. You know, this is why places like
I'm not my usual sort of compos mentis self. This is why really I haven't been putting out as many videos as
about being unemployed is the ennui of not having a job, right? But that sucks, right? This is why I feel like to a certain extent we know that this format still works nowadays, because this is why Doctor Who, this is why Sherlock so often works. Because
it's kind of dangerous for me to get too close to people or to spend too much time talking to people. This is why I must be distanced. And
Donald Trump is the guy who will willingly screw over other people because it makes good business sense. This is why you are surprised that I have
Marvel films. This is why I watched Star Trek Beyond last night. And this is why I plan to be watching War. And this is why I'm basically like, yeah, fucking get the guns, because
how this ends. I mean, this is why I broke my moral code. This is why I tried to force that out.
Entertained and controlled, so he isn't going to break the game for everyone. So this is why I like the idea of encounter happened. Right? This is why liberalism has happened. This is why leftyism has happened. This is why we have
strong female characters. I want to kill things. This is why I like the Assassin's Creed games in 1 and 2. I get stuff done and I feel great, and this is it. This is why I missed the thing. This is why I
and then this is why we now this is why I'm now entering
this is why I've been watching the sort of Marvel films. This is why I watched Star Trek Beyond last night. And that he knew about. Because I mean, I suppose again, this is why you want to make sure you do this in a group.
You do not fucking care, because you will just get blocked, and I will forget about you. This is why it is such. This is why it's so lovable.
And sort of like, this is why I keep writing so much shit, to be honest, right?
of superheroes and the comic book medium, and really this helped me. This is why I love this. And I'd heard about Watchmen before, and it's not gonna do anything, you know. And so this is why so there are issues, okay. And so this is why I kind of want to talk about my goals, my plan.
right? That's just a thing that happens, right? This is why all these, you know, beautiful female celebrities do these, you know, bloody